from California is recognized.
Madam Speaker, perhaps we should take all of the criminals off the streets, starting with those who shouldn't have been in our country in the first place, which is what this bill does. I'm now pleased to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Cline.
Gentleman from Virginia is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support this important legislation which would take concrete policy steps toward addressing the problem created by this administration of open borders. And we listened to the gentlelady from Washington on the other side talk about the cost of implementing the legislation. Well, that requires a certain amount of hubris to claim, to be worried about the cost of implementing a piece of legislation when the costs of the open borders that have been created by this administration and embraced by the other side are clearly evident. I've been to the border. We've seen the impact that open borders have had on the educational systems, the transportation systems, the housing systems, the agriculture systems. All across this country, our nation is a nation of border communities now because we are all being impacted by these open borders. Back in 2022, Laken Riley's horrific murder shocked the nation, but also shocking was the fact that her murder was preventable. It was preventable by enforcing the laws of this country. After his arrest for crossing the border illegally in 2022, he was paroled into the United States. Months before murdering Laken Riley, he was arrested for theft, but local authorities in Georgia released him, and ICE didn't lodge a detainer for the alien. Unfortunately, these two actions directly contributed to the murder of Laken Riley. This legislation that bears her name would require ICE to arrest illegal aliens who commit theft offenses, and importantly mandates that these aliens are detained until they're removed from the country. And it further requires that the Department of Homeland Security issues a detainer for these illegal aliens and take custody of them effectively and expeditiously. While we anxiously await President Trump's inauguration and know that his administration will follow and enforce immigration law and take steps to advance the enforcement of our borders, the Laken Riley Act ensures that all administrations are held accountable, including the previous one, and that our immigration laws are followed. I support this important legislation. Thank the gentleman for his leadership on the bill and yield back the balance of my time now.
Gentleman from